So now we're going to have a look at decimal numbers, and we're going to begin with a number like 675.6812. The 675 are the whole parts of the number, and on the right hand side of the decimal point we've got the parts of a whole of the number. The first 6 is in the hundreds position, the 7 is in the tens position, the 5 is in the units position. So we can actually write it as 6 hundreds, 7 tens, 5 units. The first 6 on the right hand side of the decimal point, there is a tenth, so that's 6 tenths. The 8 is in the hundredths position, the 1 is in the thousandths position, and the 2 is in the tenths thousandths position. So if we wanted to rewrite the number in very longhand form, as I've done here, recognising that 600 is 6 times 100, 7 is 7 times 10, plus 5 units, plus 6 tenths, plus 8 100ths. It's very longhand, and normally we don't write our numbers like this. We write them in the shorthand that I showed you originally. So now we need to move on to addition and subtraction of decimal numbers. Because once we have these decimal numbers, how do we add and subtract them? Well, the first thing we do is to line up all of the place values vertically. So there are my units lined up, the tens, the tenths, the hundredths and the thousandths. If there are digits missing on the right hand side, then we fill the values with zeros. And now, just as we do with integers, we begin the addition on the right hand side. So add all of the values, all of the digits in the first column, and that will be 3. Then we've got 4 plus 7, so that will be 1 and carry the 1. Then we've got 6 and 3 and 1, which is 10. So we've got a 0 in the tenths position and carry the 1 over into the next column, which is the units column. Add up all the values in the units column, all the digits in the units column, and you will have 1 and carry the 1. So your answer is 21.013. Make sure that your decimal point appears in the answer at the appropriate position. So when we move on to subtraction, again, fill any blank values, blank places on the right hand side of the decimal point with zeros, and then conduct your subtraction beginning on the right hand side, remembering to carry 1 across. And the answer for that one is 2.557. Don't forget to put your decimal point in the appropriate position. So moving on now to looking at multiplying and dividing by multiples of 10. Multiples of 10 are numbers that have a 1 with a certain number of zeros. So for instance, 100 is a multiple of 10 because 100 can be represented as 10 times 10. 1000 is also a multiple of 10 because it's 10 times 10 times 10. So if we are multiplying a decimal number by a multiple of 10, so for instance 4.345 multiplied by 10, we just need to move the decimal point 1 place to the right hand side, So the answer becomes 43.45. 13.5 multiplied by 100 means move the decimal point not one place but 2 places to the right. So the original number is 13.5, moving the decimal point 2 places, 1, and it goes into this position here. So 2 places, there's no digit in that position, so we need to fill it with a 0. The answer then is 1350. With the number 1.076, if we want to multiply by 10,000, that's 1 with 4 zeros. We need to move the decimal place 4 places to the right. So we write the original number, which is 1.076, moving the decimal point to the right 1, 2, 3, 4 places. There's the new decimal point. Any empty spots filled with zeros, the number becomes 10760. It's a short way of multiplying by multiples of 10. If we want to divide by multiples of 10, the decimal point moves in the opposite direction towards the left, and we'll have a look at that on the next page.